You finish work, grab a snack, and finally sit down on the couch to scroll through your phone. It feels like harmless relaxation, but beneath the surface, your body is quietly keeping a tally. Biologists call this tally allostatic load. It is the physiological wear and tear of chronic, low-grade stress. Because the damage from an erratic sleep schedule or a sedentary afternoon isn't immediate, we tend to ignore it. But your body registers every single microstressor. Waking up exhausted or feeling cognitively off is often a physical manifestation of a system being pushed beyond its capacity to recover. This accumulated burden actively compromises your immune response and disrupts your hormonal balance. The logic of recovery mirrors the logic of the damage. By identifying the specific mechanisms behind 5 compounding habits, we can pinpoint exactly how to start reducing that biological load. Let's start with the end of your day. After hours of working and commuting, you stay up late to reclaim a little free time. Psychologists call this revenge bedtime procrastination. This chart tracks your sleep balance over a 7-day week. Every lost hour accumulates as a mathematical deficit, depriving your brain of cellular repair. As that deficit compounds, your immune system is suppressed, and emotional centers become hyperactive, leading to daytime anxiety. To fix this, establish a strict, consistent wake-up time, even on weekends. If you find yourself lying in bed frustrated, get up and read a book in dim light until you actually feel the urge to sleep. You don't need to force a perfect 9 hours of sleep tonight. Simply anchoring your wake-up time trains your biological clock and starts resetting the cycle. Throughout the day, we are constantly jumping between emails, social feeds, and notifications. Looking at this stylized neural network, we can see the biological cost of that habit. Constant sensory stimulation puts your nervous system on high alert and overloads specific pathways. Over time, the connections between nodes physically degrade and thin out, a state researchers call digital dementia. This physical synaptic fatigue manifests as a shrinking attention span. It creates digital amnesia, where you forget small details, and a persistent, low-grade sense of social isolation. To counter this, try a daily digital detox. Physically move your phone to another room for just 1 hour and disable any notifications that aren't strictly essential. Technology itself isn't the problem. Reclaiming just 1 uninterrupted, screen-free hour a day allows your nervous system to return to a calm baseline. Then there is the physical pipeline of the modern day, sitting in your car, moving to a desk chair, and finishing on the couch. This split-screen comparison illustrates what happens internally. On the left, healthy muscle tissue efficiently absorbs glucose. But on the right, prolonged sitting accelerates age-related muscle loss. This degraded tissue repels glucose, causing the particles to pool in the bloodstream. This biological slowdown translates directly to midsection weight gain and daily sluggishness. It also nearly doubles the risk of developing type 2 diabetes. You can combat this by breaking up your sitting posture. Stand up for 2 minutes every hour and fold a simple 10-minute walk into your daily routine. Expensive standing desks aren't necessary here. The biological win comes from simply standing up once an hour to re-engage your muscles. Mentally, many of us feel like we are always rushed, anticipating future problems and putting out daily fires. That constant pressure keeps your brain's biological gas pedal stuck. The HPA axis continuously pumps cortisol into your bloodstream, overriding your parasympathetic brakes. As researcher Hans Selye proved, chronic psychological stress creates physiological damage identical to physical trauma. That persistent flood of cortisol drives up your blood pressure. It commands your body to store visceral belly fat and triggers cravings for high-calorie foods to replenish energy you haven't actually spent. To unstick the pedal, establish a strict buffer zone of quiet time every evening where planning is forbidden. During overwhelming moments, use 2-minute deep breathing exercises to manually engage your physiological brakes. A stress-free life is impossible. The goal is simply giving your brain isolated, short moments of actual physiological rest. Finally, look at the standard evening wind-down: eating a late dinner, scrolling in bed, having a drink to feel sleepy. This timeline shows how these habits send 3 entirely conflicting biological signals. A late meal causes a digestion spike, forcing your body to work. Blue light flattens your melatonin production curve, and alcohol results in fragmented, jagged sleep cycles. This creates a physiological hangover. You wake up groggy, suffer from unstable blood sugar, and start your day with a sluggish metabolism. To fix this, stop eating heavy meals 2 hours before sleep and physically dim the overhead lights in your house an hour before bed. Dimming the lights and stopping the late snacks is enough to begin realigning your biological clock. You don't need a complex 2-hour ritual. Before we wrap up, here are 3 effortless biological wins to jumpstart your recovery process. First, drink a glass of water immediately upon waking to start your metabolism. Second, get 5 minutes of morning sunlight to reset your sleep clock. Third, take a 10-minute walk after your heaviest meal to blunt blood sugar spikes. Daily consistency is what ultimately rewrites the body's internal score. Repeatedly choosing these small physiological resets, the cumulative load begins to lift.